Yo, what's up, guys? We are still traveling, almost home, but the good news keeps rolling in, so we're going to keep hitting it. Our favorite Ratchet-ass Congresswoman from New Jersey, LaMonica McIver, is going to prison. She had a 3-count returned indictment for interfering with federal law enforcement. She's facing 17 years in prison, and it's so perfect. She, of course, is on camera right here, assaulting the ICE agents. There's no way you're going to get around this. You can see it on camera. Not only is she assaulting the ICE agents, she's impeding the arrest, she's committing multiple federal felonies, and what's so delicious is that these are the felonies that they charged January 6ers with. So, no justice for LaMonica McIver. This is the way that Fox reacted to it. Senator Hawley responding.
Well, this is good news. In a Fox News alert, Democrat Congresswoman LaMonica McIver has been indicted on 3 federal charges after a clash with federal agents outside a New Jersey ICE facility. Here to react, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley. Senator, this is the acting U.S. Attorney, Alina Habba, and this congresswoman charged with forcibly impeding and interfering with federal law enforcement faces a total of, she won't be in jail for 17 years, but conceivably it could be 17 years in prison. Senator, given what we're seeing play out on the streets of L.A. and what might be expanding across the country, how important is this message?
Really important, really important. It's about the rule of law. And by the way, I seem to remember, Laura, when the Democrats had Donald Trump indicted like 1 billion times on completely fake charges, they said over and over, no one's above the law. No one's above the law. Well, guess what, Dems? No one's above the law. And these are real charges because we've all seen the video. We've seen it with our own eyes. There you've got a sitting congresswoman who is assaulting, essentially, not essentially, totally, a police officer, an ICE officer, a law enforcement officer. We could see it on the tape. And we're going to see it 1 billion times because those are the facts. And if you do the crime, you ought to do the time.
Well, she said in a statement that she was simply doing her job, and she's going to expose these proceedings for what they are, a brazen attempt at political intimidation. And I will be entering a plea of not guilty. Senator.
Well, listen, doing her job is to assault law enforcement officers. These Dems have lost their minds. They're going around literally, Laura, from prison to prison to try and hold hands and give hugs to terrorists and to thugs. Now they're making excuses for what's going on in L.A. while thugs burn down that city. These people are nuts. And if you assault a cop, you're a member of Congress, you assault a cop, you ought to go to jail. I'm glad they're prosecuting her. I hope this sends a message to all the thugs across the country who are out there assaulting cops. Do the crime, do the time. It's law and order time. Donald Trump is in office now. It is law and order in America. That's what people voted for. That's what we need. That's what's going to make our streets safe again.
Yeah, and that little stunt of hers was a prelude and a narrative set for what we're seeing in Los Angeles. Senator, always great to see you. Sorry so short tonight.
Again, I think this is really important. Congress has a rule here. There was an indictment against a guy named George Santos. He was a member of Congress, whatever you think of him. He was indicted, and he is also going to be going to prison for his crimes. He was kicked out of Congress immediately after his indictment. Congress needs to move swiftly in order to kick out LaMonica McIver. They've got to do it. You have to do it. These are the rules. It applied to a Republican, whether you like him or not, and it has to apply to LaMonica McIver. And this is, of course, really, really important because you can't be having members of Congress that assault law enforcement, right? Isn't she on committees? Has she even been stripped of her committees? Somebody needs to ask that question, has she been stripped of her committees yet? Hey, Mike Johnson. Hello, Speaker Johnson. Let's get her, strip her of the committees, censure her, kick her out of Congress, and do it right now. It has to happen immediately because people need to see that that this isn't allowed. If they see members of Congress fighting with police, then you're going to have LA, what's happening in LA, happen everywhere. So, very, very good results here. Well done, Alina Habba, who brought this case. Alina Habba brought the case and did it very successfully. Alina Habba explaining why she brought this case, and ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen next. Alina Habba has been hitting the ground hard in New Jersey, obviously doing the Lord's work. She was also at the UFC with President Trump just a few days ago. So maybe that inspired all of this. Not sure. We have asked members of Congress, including our favorite Wesley Hunt, what he thinks of LaMonica McIver and what should happen to her. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a nice little roundup of us hitting the pavement in Congress asking what should happen to our favorite ratchet-ass Congresswoman, LaMonica. Your good news for the evening.
Congressman, you are on the House Judiciary Committee. Some of the members of Congress from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, but also from New Jersey, have not been behaving very judiciously. What should happen to LaMonica McIver of Newark?
Yeah, so basically this behavior that we have seen from LaMonica, LaMonica needs to go to la jail like yesterday. And the Democrat Party is completely broken. And this kind of behavior is despicable. You would think that these people would look at what happened during January 6th, that nobody is above the law, as you so eloquently put it, and that President Trump belongs in prison and the insurrection and all these things after January 6th. And then yet they then turn around and then behave like this. And they've been behaving like this for the past few months. Now, here's what's crazy about this, brother. We all know what happened. President Trump has broken these people. Trump derangement syndrome is real. They don't know what to do, and the country is following suit with what President Trump promised the country that he was going to do, that he was going to deliver on. So in a week like this, we had so many victories, so many dubs. Like they are now to the point to where they have to throw so much stuff against the wall to see what sticks that they're lost. They can only result to violence. This is the definition of Trump derangement syndrome. These people do not know how to wake up in the morning and put on pants and put on shoes and go to work and do the right thing and work for their party. They have got to lash out because they have no leader. They are rudderless. They have no direction. Who are they going to call if they need someone to lead this party? Is it going to be LaMonica? Is it going to be Jazz? Is it going to be Bernie Sanders? Is it going to be AOC? So now what do? You attack law enforcement officers. Great idea. You know what? I hope they continue to do this for the next year and a half, because while we continue to work for the American public and work for the average American in this country, I want Democrats to expose themselves for who they are, the real insurrectionists.
Congressman, the chat is like cheering for you right now. Such a breath of fresh air to hear somebody just say it.
Yeah.
Listen, if you punch or hit a cop, you go to jail. That's just the reality of it. I don't care if you're wearing black bloc or a red hat. Yes. That's the way it should work. Yes. And if you're a member of Congress, even more so, because you should damn well know better. Now, where the hell is the rest of the Republican congressional leadership on this? You'd assume that this would be such a cut and dry situation. We protect our cops. We defend our men and women in uniform. We defend our federal agents. There's clear statutes that have been written into U.S. code that you're not allowed to do this. It's patently illegal. Well, and so where's the rest of the Republican Party on this?
This is also relatively new. This is also relatively breaking news. We're going to be in session, back in session tomorrow. So I'm sure this is going to be discussed. But I also want to say something, just where our party stands when it comes to police and law enforcement officers. You know, coming up here, we're having Police Week up in D.C. And I'm going to tell you that I want to thank God for every single law enforcement officer that keeps us safe. Under no circumstances should a member of U.S. Congress ever place their hands on anybody that risks their lives to keep us safe. One quick story for you, brother. This is the best thing I've ever heard from a spouse of a law enforcement officer. She said, "The sound of Velcro when my husband comes home is what I look forward to every single day. Because if I'm hearing the sound of Velcro, that means he's taking off his bulletproof vest and he's still alive." So we have congressmen and women attacking people that stand on a wall for us. It's ridiculous. She should absolutely be expelled from Congress, and she should get the exact same punishment that they would have given a Republican if we behaved that way. Imagine if Congressman Wesley Hunt behaved this way. Now, I would never do that because as a military man myself, I have far too much respect for these people. But imagine if I behaved this way. I'd be gone just like that. The double standard here is nauseating, and we know it. But again, I kind of don't want to kick her out, brother, because I want America to keep seeing this clown show. Because I want America to know this is the Democrat Party today. You do not want these people in charge ever again. So while on one hand, she absolutely has to go, and on principle, and I will stand on principle, she should go. At the end of the day, this is to the testament of the Democrat Party and where they are today.
Okay, so on the heels here of Police Week, you are saying, Congressman, that you are in favor of expulsion of a member of Congress who assaulted federal agents on camera. You are in favor of this?
Yes. Next question.
Yes. Okay. How does that, this is why you're an absolute favorite of the show, Congressman, because they just, there's no, Dr. Seuss, reading Dr. Seuss backwards with you. Is that, here we go.
I'll tell you something, brother. I hold myself to that standard. You see, if I behave that way, I would fire myself. I would quit because clearly I don't have the temperament to do this job. So again, this is not a double standard here. I would never behave that way. Ergo, I get to be in Congress. If you don't behave that way, I will hold you to that same standard. And guess what? You got to go.
What is the process there?
Now, that is an arduous task because, again, it has to be voted on by all members of Congress. We have a 4-seat majority. It had to be brought to the floor, and it would take a lot. And then you would have to say, no, you know what? You know how I would vote, but I can't promise you that every single Republican would vote to expel her for various reasons that they would have to explain. But I can only explain my vote and what I would do. I would certainly vote to have her expelled after what I just saw in that video.
Yeah, I mean, it seems. I mean, this is DHS's footage that they sent proprietary to us.
Correct.
It just seems like very cut and dry.
This is very easy.
Like, it's a very simple. Yeah, it's a very simple vote explanation. Like we don't support members of Congress attacking federal agents like that. Well, duh. Like we stand with the blue, right? So we're just not going to do that.
Oh, wait. Who's we though? Who's we? We, the Republican Party, stands with the blue.
Yep.
Democrats do not.
Yep.